And we're live.
Ooh, how does that feel? Feels
Weird.
I haven't done it for a while.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah, it does feel strange.
Yeah. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our brand new podcast with changes implemented again.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just gonna kick right on with doing the podcast how we usually do it. We'll talk about the shit that we've got to talk about. Then perhaps towards the end we'll go to a little like Q&A to finish off with. So I've got some conspiracies today. I've kind of taken a different tack with the conspiracies this week. Obviously, we do a lot of conspiracies on the podcast, as you all know. But this, I've picked a few that are kind of funny and weird, and also a little bit depressing at the same time.
Right. Nice and uplifting.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, it's it. We're one nuke away from the entire world being fucked anyway. But let's go.
A man can dream.
So, I don't know if any of you will remember, but back in 2008, when Barack Obama was starting strong with Barack Obama, there's a little thing called the controversy over his actual birth certificate. So there are a group of people that believe in a conspiracy that is, I believe, is called birtherism. Now,
Right.
this is basically the conspiracy that Barack Obama was not American. And it is still, even today, I see loads and loads of interviews with people just on the street and they're like supporting Trump or Republicans, whatever. And they'll still cite the fact that Barack Obama is not an American, even though he is clearly American. It baffles me. This is what I mean by it's funny, but it's also depressing.
Yeah. So I've heard about this. I'm sure everyone has. Yeah. I don't understand like the issue. So let's say that these people are right. I'm not saying they're right at all, but let's say these people are right. What is the actual issue? Because he's lived in America his whole life. Like it does. I'm gonna Google it actually because I can literally Google things now. Amazing.
Oh God.
Oh, the internet.
Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah. Then have to be born in the US. It literally comes up as a suggestion. Oh, right, okay. No person. So this is the constitution.congress.gov. No person except a natural born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of the Constitution shall be eligible for the office of president. Right, okay. So basically, if he wasn't born in the in the US, then he wouldn't be allowed to. So that's why it was such a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
So essentially, like, you've got to be born and bred American.
Right, yeah. They love it, don't they? They do love it.
They do. Anything that's like, patriotic, get the guns out, hat on. I should have worn my hat for this.
You should have, yeah. First Amendment rights.
The Second Amendment, come on, mate.
Oh, second, sorry.
Protect the Second Amendment. Yeah, so this is still something that I see on TV or YouTube clips today where people still complain about Barack Obama being a shit president, even though he's not been in power for however many years, and they still say he shouldn't have been president because he's not actually American. They always say he's from Kenya, and this is like a movement within those sort of groups where they still believe that and still believe they've been mugged off.
Has it ever been proved? Like, has it been debunked? As in,
yes.
he's provided his birth certificate?
Yeah. So in 2008, right, he had to release a copy of his birth certificate, and he actually there's like a short form and a long form of it, I believe.
Yes.
And in 2011, he produced the long form.
Right.
And released the document that it was released, and Americans could obviously know this by people picking up on it in the news and that sort of stuff. But there's still activists, even after 2011, when he produced it, still saying that he is Kenyan.
I think it's got to spawn from desperation to be right, hasn't it? To want
feels like let it go.
Yeah, well, especially like he's done 2 terms. He can't be president anymore. Yeah. Like he's not coming back. You can relax now. I mean, you didn't win because he was president, but just to still be going on about it is actually quite baffling, But also
bizarre.
after his revealed his birth certificate, that should be it. It should be game over.
Yeah,
Plus,
once the facts have been presented, you want to roll back slightly. Maybe begrudgingly, I'll say, yes, he is American, but I still believe he's Kenyan. You don't say factually, without any doubt, he is a Kenyan and he is not American, even though he just produced the very thing that you asked him to fucking produce.
Yeah.
It's like, what else do you want?
Yeah, I think those people, even after all that, is still gone about it. You're just never going to please them, no matter what. You could literally have a camera of him being born, coming out, and then film the hospital and be like, no, it's fake.
Absolutely. I feel like, it's. But then I'd like to think that you could fly a flat earther into space, have them literally window seat the whole way, and then they see the planet and they're like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's it.
I was wrong.
They would go. They would be like out there going, yep, told you it was flat.
They'd be like, this is all a simulation. I'm gonna open the door, and then just everyone's dead.
Further out.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
fucking hell.
Well, that's their fault for putting them near a fucking accessible door, really, isn't it? Really,
That is true. That is very true.
But it just astounds me the level of staunch. Like, I am correct. My point of view is the fucking point of view you should have.
Yeah,
it's just it's such a weird mentality.
Not so much delving into people's birth certificates, but I'm all up for a conspiracy. But fuck me, there has to be a line drawn where, if facts are presented, you can't. All right, you can fake a birth certificate, but you can't get much more of an official document than a birth certificate, can you?
Yeah, even if they proved it, it doesn't make any difference to anything that's happened.
Yeah,
because he's still done what he's done in presidency. From my point of view, he was quite a good president. But obviously, I'm not American, so don't live there. So,
you can't have an opinion
from the outset, it seemed like he was, he seemed like a good support. I personally liked him. But again, I'm not American.
He conducted himself very well, I felt.
Yeah, I thought he had he used to do good speeches.
Yeah.
You felt like I always felt, whether he was or wasn't, I always felt it was quite integral.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not American, so from the bits that I saw, I liked him.
Yeah, and it's certainly less scary than Biden, who, bless him, doesn't seem to be, very much mentally there anymore.
Yeah, which is
terrifying. The fact that you got Putin acting up, and the dude at the top of probably the biggest rival to them can't even string a sentence together. It's very scary times.
I mean, say what you will about Trump, but at least he was
coherent.
He was on it. Do you know what I mean? He was you either
had that strong handshake.
Yeah, you agree with him or you didn't, but I felt like he didn't mess about. Don't know.
Yeah, Biden's trying to shake hands with ghosts, and Trump's not. But
not saying that I support Trump or anything like that. Purely from an observational point of view, I think it would have been fascinating to see this war on Ukraine had Trump been in power. As he claims, it would never have happened. Now, I'm not saying that, go Trump, it would never have happened. It would just be interesting to see if he was able to back that up in any way, But
I think
who knows?
It is weird. It's slightly weird because Donald Trump was a massive supporter of this particular conspiracy. He was the one.
He pushed. He pushed the Obama birth certificate thing hard.
That's interesting.
He may have even been patient zero on this one.
It may have been. He may have been the original birther, whatever you can call it.
Yeah,
which is why it probably still gets brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the sad thing is that obviously eventually he did become in power. So obviously he didn't. I don't think he ran against. Barack
no, he didn't. So he did 2 terms.
It seems like American politics is very much like there's no center ground. You're either Republican or Democrat, right? And
yeah, but I feel like it's the same here. You're either Labour or you're Conservative. You're either blue or you're red.
Red or you're blue.
I just can't. I can't be fucked with it. Like, this is the only thing I'll say on politics, right?
Fucking here we go.
No. I voted back in fucking hell. It was when I was doing my degree, right? I voted for Liberal Democrat because they said that they were going to abolish the £3,000 a year student fees. Yeah. So I was like, yes, Nick Clegg, let's get him in there. They've got momentum. I'm not going to pay for my degree. This is going to be sick. Okay, we've got a coalition with the Conservatives, but it's going to be okay. At the very least, they're not going to go up because, you know, if you're going to say you're going to abolish them, you're going to at least keep them the same. And they tripled them. So in that moment, I was like, politics is shit. I'm fucking out. That's it. That's it. That's as political as I get. I believed in it. I voted it, and it didn't just backfire, man. It like fucking doused me in petrol and fucking, you know, to the point where I'm now paying off a fucking 30 grand debt. It's like, cheers, Nick, you fucking prick. So there we go.
What he actually said, he's going to 3x it. I think you may have misunderstood him there.
Yeah.
But I feel like you've got fringe parties that at least have some support. Like, you got the Greens, you got Lib Dems. Ultimately, it does still come down.
But then they often say like, "Oh, a vote for Green is just a vote for the dominant party," isn't it? Really?
I don't know. I don't know much about politics, but all it just seems like in America is very like one or the other. Whereas here, it seems a bit more segmented. But
I think it
still does come down to red or blue.
I think it's always. I think with all of them, and again, I think it's just an illusion of choice.
Yeah,
I think that you've got
who's got WhatsApp open?
Again, I think I think, is that me? No, I think it's on my Yeah, I'll put mine on.
That might be me. I don't know.
Anyway, I think it's an illusion of choice in all of them. Like, I think even once whoever gets in power vote for that, there's certain things that are going to be done.
Yeah.
Anyway, like you say, that thing with the student loan, university is a business, and it's a big business.
Yeah,
and it's a business in a vacuum, and it very like I think the days are gone of helping people get a degree.
And absolutely.
That's never ever coming back because it's such a big business now.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to put people off getting a degree, but I got a degree in sports science, health, and exercise, and I chase fucking ghosts for a living. You know what I mean? I'm not even sure if they exist or not. So I'm not saying I've poured 30 grand down the fucking drain, but you know, my opinion on a degree is like, if you're gonna get it, be like super specific with it. Mm-hmm.
Like, go and do law, be a doctor. Doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
There's just no return on investment. And
if you do it for the fucking party life, when you get to 30, you realise what a mistake that was. Yeah. If you're like, the night's out, just go on nights out anyway.
Yeah, and if you think about it, say you at uni and you get your grant or stuff, say you spend £100 on a night out, like the amount that's actually going to cost you over the year. You can probably 3x that. It's probably going to cost you.
The interest is disgusting.
The interest and the paying it back. And when I did it, I had the mentality that I was like, because there's a threshold, isn't there? You have to pay it back over a certain threshold. Yeah. And you're like, I'll never get that threshold. Yeah. But as time goes on and inflation goes up, and we go through our careers, like at some point you pay it back, and then you're like, fuck, like now. And then obviously the more you earn, the more you pay back, and it's like,
is it ever written off? Like
after 30 years, I think.
Jesus,
is it?
I think so.
Well, mine's 20 odd, and I'm still paying.
You're getting there.
I've got
nearly over the line.
A little bit left on it. But I avoided it for so long.
Yeah.
I didn't pay anything back on it until after 33, I think, 34.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that eventually you're going to have to pay it.
This is the first year I've had to start paying it back, and I graduated in, I think, 2016.
Yeah. I think that's when you regret it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because before it was like, oh, I'm not using it, but who gives a fuck? But
it feels like free money because you're like, well,
oh yeah,
you're just like, you get given all this money, you part with it, and then you're like, cool, like I don't have to pay it back to hit this threshold, but it's like, well, once you hit the threshold, and I used to always try and dodge it and just like you do weird things with your threshold, and like eventually you got to pay it back. So you got to bite the bullet.
I'm a scammer. I'm a scammer, so I didn't go.
Mate, no, you're sat in the best fucking position. To be honest,
I'm interested in how it works because do you just get given like a shitload of money to then spend yourself?
It depends.
They allocate it for you?
No, they give. So the finance company gives the university money for your tuition. You don't see that. That goes straight to them. And then if you're eligible for grants, which I'm not being funny, I'm pretty sure the definition of a grant is like you don't pay that back, but you do. If you're eligible for grants, like I was living with my mum, single mum, low income, so I was entitled to basically the full whack. I'd get, I think it's like September, January, and April. I'd get about between $1 and $2 grand, I think.
Right.
Something like that. And like, I mean, fucking hell, man. Like when I saw. But I was used to having like 15 quid in my account, and then all of a sudden you see like 1,500. You're like, "What the fuck? I'm so rich! Holy shit!" And it's just like, and then it just goes like you just buy. I mean, you have to buy books and shit, but
most an accommodation. Most of mine went on accommodation. If your parents don't have a. Well, there's also another thing with uni. It's like the lost income, because I went as a mature student.
Right.
I was like 20. I just left the army. I was like 21, but I was working just before I left the army, and in between just going, I got another job, and they offered me 25 grand a year, which this is 20 years ago. So that was really good money. And it was like a good career path. And I turned it down, and I was like, so those 3 years, even just if I stayed at 25 grand a year, that was 75 grand in earned income that I'd lost. So yeah, I think nowadays, if you do go, you've really got to think about it. But it seems as well, like obviously now, from when we was at school, the school system changed. Like you have to stay in school till you're 18 now, don't you? You can do an apprenticeship. I don't know what percentage of people actually choose that route. I don't think it's many. Back in the day, you could leave at 16 and go to work. Which is, so you kind of like, you get to 18 and then, I don't know, I feel like that helps the numbers at university, because there's a lot more people now in that net of further education that can opt to go to university. And it's probably why they did it.
I also feel like, when you're in the education bubble as well, you're almost putting off reality, or postponing reality, if you know what I mean. So it's like, oh well, I'm still learning, so I ain't got to,
an excuse.
So I ain't got to really get my life together yet, because I'm still doing my degree. All right, I'll do a master's then.
I'll get off the smack later, mum.
I feel like there's an element of that, not with everyone, but with some people, But I also feel like,
if you are doing it and you are fair play. I don't think there's anything inherently bad about it. I just don't. I think, and just his life in general and school, that we're just not giving them enough information financially about like all of the costs that come with it. And then you tend to find that out later in life. I'd love to see a survey of, I don't know, 30 pluses who done degrees, who said they were happy with it. Like, for instance, if you got given that chunk amount of money, and we're like, we're going to put it towards getting you your first house, whatever. Like, there'd be so many more people that would obviously take that option.
Or that chunk of money to start a business.
To start a business, And it's like, it's.
But I tell you what, to fucking segue it back to conspiracies, is there not a but is there not a conspiracy in that? You were saying about the lack of education in finances. There is a conspiracy that is intentional, so that you end up in a job trapped You're in the fucking rat race. You can't get out. You can't fucking start your own business or anything like that because you've got to pay these bills. You've got to pay these debts back. And why would these big companies want you to have that independence to go and start your own company because they want you to work for them? Do you know what I mean? And so this whole fucking system is put in place to just get you on the fucking the hamster wheel.
Even like so, even escaping like the Matrix and even setting up business stuff, you're still within their constraints. So it's still set up to like, it's still very much, especially in the UK, like set up the tax, the VAT, like all of the thresholds. As you scale, loads of it goes towards the government. So it's very, it's the small elite that actually
absolutely
break out of the rat race.
I mean, that perfectly links into another thing I was going to bring up, precisely what you just said, basically, John, about how it was done on American education, but I think the same could probably be said for here as well, where they like promote consumerism. So they don't teach any form really of home economics, anything about money. Don't teach how to deal with tax. Don't teach how to even go about starting your own business. How to even set up, literally just set up a company, like just in name.
You don't learn that. You do a degree in business and economics, or business. Well, I did business economics. You do not learn how to set a company up. It's all you're studying.
Mad,
you're doing like management stuff for corporate. You're learning about management that you probably, that you would need at like 30 years old. So you're learning like supply chain systems and, all this other, supply and demand, all this other stuff that is not useful for like an 18, 21-year-old wanting to set up a business. Like you're not like, there's no project where I like go out and like try and make, buy something and sell it and try and make some profit. Like I can genuinely say like I learn more about business buying and selling and flipping on eBay than I did doing a degree.
Because they don't want you to do your own business. Because I'm telling you, this is my new big conspiracy. They want you in the bubble.
It's part of what I've got to speak about today. I've never really heard of this apart from this morning when I researched it, or last night. The World Economic Forum. WEF. It's an international organization headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, that brings together individuals, political and business leaders each year to discuss significant issues that impact the global economy. These include, but are not limited to, political, economic, social, and environmental concerns. Basically, they have predicted in 2030, they released a video, I can't remember how long ago it was, like a few months ago. They made some predictions about 2030 on what our lives would be like. And one of the predictions was, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, which is... It is basically building this system of you rent everything, in which I think we're already fucking there.
Pretty much with cars and things.
Yeah, cars, phones, anything.
Can you even really say, and this is someone without a mortgage, right? I know you two obviously have mortgages. Can you even say you really own your house until you've paid your mortgage back?
I don't know. I mean, officially on documents you say you're a house owner, but with a mortgage.
Yeah,
there's always a separation whether you own the house outright or
and also so there's certain rules with the bank with mortgages on how much equity you've got, depending on how much, when they can actually take it off you. So you might, for instance, the past few years, like you might have bought a house 2 years ago and put down 10% deposit, and now because of the interest rates going so high, when you've come to remortgage and you've actually, houses have dropped a little bit anyway, and there's people in negative equity already, just from 2 years ago. So like you got a mortgage at say $1,000 2 years ago, you know, go to renew that mortgage, and it's $1,500 or $2,000, and then the value on your house has actually gone down. So I remember speaking to someone, I don't know how true this is, but he says once you have got more than 50% equity in your home, like it's super difficult for the banks to try and get that back, because it's all done on risk. Like when they assess you, obviously if you get a buy-to-let mortgage, you put down more percentage. So the more percent you've got down, or the more equity you've got in your house, the less at risk you are to the bank, because you can cover it. So yeah, the actual the question of like, do you ever own it? I would say once you're over 50%, you're in a very, very strong position. But up until then, yeah, like you're right, like you could be a homeowner, but
technically the banks, really.
Technically the banks, yeah, they just lent you the money.
So actually, when you think about this conspiracy, like by 2030 we'll own nothing and be happy. I mean, do we actually now?
Yeah, but there's another on the flip of that conspiracy as well, which is actually happening at the moment. So a lot of landlords are selling up their portfolios. It's harder for newer people coming in to get their houses. First-time buyers have dropped like huge percentages. If you look at the stats, like it's massive.
Yeah.
But what's happening is there's big corporations of limited companies buying up the stock of these houses and putting them all into like one big portfolio, and that percentage of that compared to like 4 or 5 years ago has risen massively. And so they're getting bought up by these big limited companies. And again, it's like, so they can, all the new rules and stuff are kind of pushing out buy-to-let investors. So, 4 or 5 years ago, it was really, you kind of getting a few buy-to-lets was really like profitable and really worthwhile. Whereas now that all the rules coming out, just making it harder and harder to do. There are ways around it with businesses and stuff, but it's super difficult.
So fucking strange. But like for cars are another big one. I mean, a lot of people have their cars on finance.
Yeah.
Which it's like you can get like a BMW like 4 Series for like so many £100 a month, whereas there's a very small percentage of people who would be able to spend like 50 grand on a car up front. So on the one hand, it opens it up to so many people to be able to, but at the same time, they're in worse off positions because they could theoretically get a car that's maybe 4 or 5 grand used.
Yeah, and I've fell into that trap before, and it's like you just again you become a slave to the system because you're paying a monthly cost that as soon as you drive that car at the forecourt, you lose that money anyway.
Yeah.
And you're in a finance agreement. So after 4 years, and they're like, oh, well, you go back, and then they're like, yeah, we'll just take that back off you, and then reset it back up, and then you go back into another agreement. But then you never actually own the car.
No.
And you're just always in this cycle of, but then I want the new car, or whatever. But that's what I've noticed is that over the past few years, which didn't really happen when I was younger. Like everything now is like there's so many, you can buy everything on like monthly interest-free credit. Like this is 20 quid a month, and it's like it's all designed to you get it. You think, oh, I'll get that on for £1,000. But you're paying that 25 quid back off a month for like 4 years, and you're paying like 50 quid here, then 200 quid here, then 400 quid here. Then before you know it, like you're literally just working. You've got a very small disposable income. Even there's just lots of places that offer credit to everyone. You can literally get credit, even if you got bad credit rate. You can go out and get credit. Whereas when I was younger, like if you had bad credit, you had no chance of getting anything.
Yeah,
even that's changed now. Like there's like those shops, isn't there? I think a few closed down. Like Bright House was one, and the APR.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
They're a fucking joke, isn't they?
Yeah.
You get a telly for like say 400 quid. And I've got a mate up north who got one of these, and he's been paying it back for 4 years, and like every time he misses a payment, and he always does, he gets a charge of like 30 or 40 quid.
Yeah.
And then he's been paying it back, this telly that you could probably buy now on eBay for 150 quid.
Yeah.
Been paying it back. He's probably spent like 2-3 grand, and he's still not paying it.
Crazy, man.
Is that when I was working at Hughes? I think it was Bright House. They were in the same town, but they did Hughes. You could rent stuff per week or per month, and Bright House did the same. But Bright House was borderline extortion. Like you'd literally walk in there, you'd see a TV that's probably at most probably about 500 quid, and then it'd want you to be locked in to like a 24-month contract of paying like 30 quid a week for it.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Because they offered it to absolutely anyone, like,
regardless of credit rating.
Yeah. It's just like, well, okay, I'll have that because I can't get it anywhere else. I can't afford to buy it outright. I'll get it here. But then you get absolutely stung like straight
Long
away.
term.
Within like 3-4 months, you look at it going, hang on a minute, I've paid fucking almost the entire value of this in 3 months.
I remember like my chatting with my nan and like her generation, and like the only thing they ever got on like a credit was your mortgage.
Yeah.
Everything else was like, if you can't buy it, you don't get it. If you can't buy it, like, they just never, there was never that mentality of of renting something or getting it. And it's whereas like nowadays, everything. There's
your phone, everything.
Even you could go to PC World, they're like, you got buy a laptop. Oh, do you want to put it on? Do you want it interest free, 24 months? And half of you thinks, oh yeah, well that it's interest free, so why wouldn't I? But then you're in the cycle then.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, I know like insurances are slightly different because if you pay outright, then it's slightly cheaper. But it's just like I paid my car insurance just outright this year because it's just I don't know, something about when you see all these outgoings each month. I feel like if you can reduce that,
oh mate, 100%,
it just feels better. You know what I mean? It's like the car insurance is fucking done. It doesn't matter. I'm insured. But it's a
I
weird
used to pay
system.
mine yearly, up until probably about a couple of years ago. And you're right. You see more money coming out, you can't go, fuck, what is that for? And then you remember, shit, that's car insurance. Like, it's just all fucking adding up.
Yeah. But how does this conspiracy tell us that we'll be happy about this? Because I don't think I'd be happy about it.
I think the kind of notion is you'll just accept it, and it'll be part of your life. It'll be like so many people are used to it now that it's just like, well, that's what we did from the start, didn't we? We never owned anything.
Would it boil down to like liability as well, to a certain extent? Like if you own something, you have ownership over it, and it's your responsibility. Whereas if it's, I guess with cars and stuff, you still have liability. But if it's not like yours, I guess you could just be a bit more like, well, fuck it. I don't actually, I could just fuck off today, and then like all this shit would just go back to wherever the fuck it came from. I don't know.
Depends what agreement you got, really. Like you can't just.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah.
You can't like just say after 6 months on a 2-year contract, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
You'd have to pay a penalty. But yeah, it's just getting you locked into that way of thinking is going to be. It seems like it already is, like I said, but that's what they predict.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see it. It's already a massive part of our lives.
I think as well, like there's so many people on like the planet now that like if you didn't keep everyone busy with a job, like it would be chaos. It would be like, because you have to. If there was a way to just set up so everyone was, you didn't have to work, and there was like there was stuff set up through machines, and because think how advanced technology is now, like we could probably sort something out where we could, we could have a lot better way of life. But do you just need to keep everyone on the churn, like working away, like and selling them a dream? Like there's always levels, isn't there? You get something, but if you get this and get it, and it's like. It is actually irrelevant to your happiness, like what's that?
I feel like there are certain things set in place to keep people just in this system. Two things in particular. One is sport, football.
Yeah,
everyone's whoever follows football, very tribal.
That's super tribal,
it's something to look forward to at the weekend. It's my team, and my team will win, or my team loses, and the lottery. Nothing makes me sadder, and I guess this is a little bit judgmental, and I shouldn't be, but nothing makes me sadder than when I hear like my mum, for example, say, "Well, one day I might win the lottery," and it's just like, I just wish that people would try and like create a reality for themselves where you haven't got to rely on a fucking, I don't know, whatever millions to one chance it is.
14 million to one.
Like that'll be your happiness. It's just like,
even if you do the research on lottery winners.
They're miserable. A lot of them.
Like, and there's lots of stuff like to back that up as and people always go, oh, I wouldn't be, I'll be, but yeah, you have to look at the reasons why. And then it's the same as if you really want something, if you can just buy anything you want, like every time you do that, the endorphins like your dopamine less and less to a point where it's like stuff becomes numb. And there's a few like multimillionaires who've like talked about this. I think that it's winning the lottery. Yeah, it's a load of bollocks.
I just think it's a carrot on a stick, and I know that some people do. Some people do win it. Of course they do, because otherwise it would be if no one won it, then no one would fucking try, But it has to be possible. But it just, I hate that. I hate it so much. I don't like. It just makes me feel sad. When I hear my loved ones say, "Well, one day I might win the lottery," I just think, well, you probably won't, and if that's what you're holding out for. But then if it keeps them going, it's this weird like fucking dichotomy. It's just
I think the thought of it is actually quite a nice thing in reality, is because the statistics show, and the people that have interviewed, like there's many people who've done it and like they're just so unhappy after, because they've never been trained to like look after the money, and like you're always like you've got a load of money, but all of a sudden you've got a load of like other problems. You're not got enough financial problems, but then you're like, who's my friends, who do I trust, who's going to be there after, like
people try to steal from you. You get letters every single day from people asking for money, apparently.
And you're like, people angry that like you've won, and why it's the charity, and why give that, and then people don't tell anyone, they become reclusive, and then so there's a lot of people after it that just wish they had their own life.
It destroys a lot of families, apparently. Because you'll hear from like some fucking cousin you haven't heard from in 20 years who expects like $500,000, and when you say no, all of a sudden you're a piece of shit, and it's just
like monster kicks in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Tell you what, mate, I'll get you a scratch card. See you get on. Yeah. Fuck the 10 mil. You'll have a scratch card and deal with it.
I actually hate receiving scratch cards as presents, because I just think like, if I win, there's just gonna be like, if I win 50 grand, I'm a person that will share things. I'm not okay, but I can just see how that would just like set in. You hear about these people. Like there's this lady. It's been a big story in the last few months. There's this lady. I think it's his great aunt, or it might be his grandmother.
Oh yeah,
and she gave him. He was buying the scratch card, and she lent him the money to go buy it. Him. He bought it, won like $500,000, and then she's like, "Well, that's mine." And it's like, "Well, no, you just lent me $1 to go get it. You didn't. It wasn't like go buy this for me." And it's literally destroyed their fucking family over this money. And I think in the end, he took like 125,000, and she took like whatever the remainder is, some shit at maths. But like the majority, But she's lost the relationship with her fucking grandson or whatever, And it's just like, how fucking happy is that money really going to make you, knowing that you've torn your family apart?
It's never the winning the money that's the problem. It's like we say, all the stuff that comes after it.
I've had, because it's something I'm interested in, and like I do read up stories about it. There was one where like a guy won it, him and his wife, and then so they bought the big house and the cars and that, and then so she got like she wanted to get in shape, so she got a personal trainer, and then she ran off with the personal trainer.
Brilliant.
And then like he was fucking distraught, and it's like, and then he had a breakdown, and it's like so interesting, because you're like, obviously, he's got a bit more money that, but he's lost like the love of his life. Like, would she have ever done that if she didn't get in shape? And it
just keep feeding the pizza, mate.
Maybe she should have run off anyway. But yeah, it is interesting.
It is so strange, isn't it? It is so strange. But yeah, it is. It's one of those things. I don't personally do the lottery. I sometimes do a scratch card just because I used to have a bit of a gambling addiction, and I need to keep it under. It's sort of like you know, like if
you feed it a little bit.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll be back in the casino.
You want to kill the beast. You just want to let it. You know.
Yeah, you got to like. Yeah, it's in a cage, but you do have to like throw it the odd scrap. You know.
No, I don't think that's how addictions work.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm still on a 1 gram of meth every day. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Oh dear.
Apparently, I don't want to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure with the lottery though, there is an option that you can take to remain anonymous, but
you can.
How long you can
there are a few options. It's really weird. So I think the first one is you can say like you won $1 million. I think like you can take like 400,000 straight away.
Yeah, that's weird.
Or you can do it in like increments. And a lot of people apparently just take the lump sum.
Even the lottery's on a finance deal.
Yeah.
There's like a lad in America who won like it was like 10 million or something. Same thing that after like 4 minutes I'll take that. It's like
just be patient.
You've got like
what are you gonna buy that you need like 5 mil for instead of 4?
Yeah. But then he blew it as well. He blew it and then
can have the rest.
You're thinking shit, you know. Like it's so much money to like. But again, it's like people just they don't know really about. They're just like, oh, I want that money now for this and this. I quite like the scratch cards. If I ever do one, which is rare, I'll do the the 10 grand a month ones.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's like that you can be sensible with because it's not like everyone's going to come to you and be like, oh, give me $1 million or whatever. It's like, well, I haven't got it. But then you can live like a very decent, comfortable life and do whatever you want to do. And it's, I quite like those ones.
Until one of your family was like, oh yeah, I want $4 grand a month.
Yeah.
Please.
On retainer. Yeah, fuck it. No, they
Pay for my electric anyway if I want one of them.
That's it. Just.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, money is the root of all evil. That's what we've learned.
Yeah.
But it would be nice. What's the next conspiracy, Lars? What you got?
Oh well, I'm going to lead into.
Like we've ran out. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, remember to do the lottery and do scratch cards.
Yeah,
beat that addiction.
Yeah.
I've got a conspiracy kind of close to you actually, because you were the first one to. Yeah, you was in Jordan. Sorry, didn't make that specific. Close to everyone.
Can I guess what this is?
Yeah, go on in.
Because the moment you say, has it got anything to do with pigeons?
Well, yes, because it's a bird,
right?
But not specifically a pigeon.
Yeah, I'll take the reins, not the reins, but I'll take the rap for blowing this one up.
Yeah,
and Dan, we collaborated on a fantastic piece of merch. I might add. That conspiracy fucking collection was the bomb.
It was a good one.
It was. But yeah, sorry, Loz, what were you saying?
That's good. Yeah, I like the t-shirts actually. I've actually got one downstairs, I believe. One of these.
Could have wore it. Never mind.
Ah, well, I mean, gosh. I'm wearing this now.
Yeah, true. You got that more.
So it is the basic premise that birds aren't real, but of course in yours they are real.
Oh, all of them.
They're drones. What?
What? Sorry.
All of them.
Jesus. Okay. Right.
All of them.
Someone went.
But this is a brilliant conspiracy because it picks apart society in the best way and then turns around and laughs in its face. But the depressing part of it is that even when people have turned around and go, oh, yeah, let's laugh at that, there are still people that believe this.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel you're right. Okay. Can I just say I feel slightly responsible for what you're about to say. If you're on about like seeing how far a conspiracy can go, because obviously I went on the happy hour and went hard on this conspiracy. That day, full disclosure, I was playing a character of a conspiracy theorist, but I did really push this out hard as fact, but I didn't actually believe it myself. I'm a fraud. I'm sorry.
And there's thousands of people now literally
that will be scared of avians because of that podcast.
Yeah, so as Jordan said, on that podcast on that fateful day. He doesn't believe that birds are actually birds. They're actually spying on us with CCTV cameras embedded into their bodies. They're basically drones. But this works on the same premise. He just says that birds aren't real. They aren't what they seem.
Right.
And it was developed by a guy called Peter McIndoe, who started spreading the idea in 2017 until December 2021. So he's only recently said,
right.
I don't believe in this anymore, right?
Right.
And he gave an interview in the New York Times.
I didn't get a fucking interview with him.
Unfortunately.
Is this the guy who set up Birds Aren't Real?
What was that? Sorry?
Is this the guy who set up the whole...
He's the one who,
Birds Aren't Real?
He's the one who kind of made the big push, as well as Jordan, that birds aren't real.
Right, okay, yeah. He's got massive, isn't he?
I didn't know anything about him until I read up on it, but it seems like he's quite well informed as how society works, which is a good thing if you're going to pull a stunt like this. But yeah, in 2021 December, he had an interview with the New York Times. McIndoe stayed in character as a true believer, insisting in media interviews and online that birds aren't real, but rather that they are surveillance drones made by the US government.
Yeah.
Birds Aren't Real has a staff. So it has staff that works for this organization, right?
Fuck.
Yeah. It has organized real life protests, or it did do, probably still does. It brought billboards and emblazoned vans with the claim. The goal, says McIndoe, it is to parody the misinformation that Gen Z finds itself stewing in. Birds Aren't Real is not a shadow satire of conspiracies from the outside. It is from the deep inside, he told the New York Times. A lot of people in our generation feel the lunacy in all of this, and Birds Aren't Real has been a way for people to process that. The experiment revealed that conspiracies sometimes grow by credibility. Local media sometimes report on Birds Aren't Real as if it was something young people really believed rather than an elaborate joke. Birds Aren't Real organizers hope the joke will become a force for good by exposing all the ways misinformation thrives. This is a quote from him. Yes, we have been intentionally spreading misinformation for the past 4 years, but it's with a purpose, McIndoe said. It's about holding up a mirror to America in the internet age.
That's very clever. It's playing the long game, but it's very clever.
It's a mega Chad move. It's like,
that's brilliant.
Straight in.
Because it's also ridiculous enough. It's ridiculous enough to be like, well, obviously, are you fucking as if you believe this?
I always thought it was quite obvious with it. I don't know if anyone actually believed it, but he had a massive following. I'm sure, I need to get it up, I'm sure he pretended to be really ill in hospital, which is really weird because let me get
too much CCTV.
Let me put the I'll just put the internet on. Sorry, 2 seconds.
You've been streaming without the internet. You are a fucking absolute god.
I'll put my Wi-Fi on. Bear with me 2 seconds because just want to get this right.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him. I probably inadvertently read one of his articles, obviously, because I didn't make up the conspiracy. I found it, but I didn't realise this was like a full-on organisation pushing it.
Yeah, it seems like they were well organised, had a lot of resources. The fact that they put it on...
Where do you get resources from for this sort of thing?
I don't know.
I think he just blew up on social media.
Right.
I mean, he's verified, yeah. I mean, I remember I started following him when he was...
I don't mean anything anymore.
30, 40K or something.
Get a blue tick for £8 a month.
Do you?
Yeah, he's seen it on Twitter. I don't know. Elon Musk has said you can pay to have a blue tick now.
Brilliant. I secretly think Elon is just going to tank Twitter on purpose.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's like 100%.
Oh.
So like he did this whole thing where he's
in
hospital and everyone was like, but he did it serious. It was weird. It was like, the
birds have got to him.
Thanks for all the love. Like I'm really ill and all this stuff. And then it was just all another big like hoax. But he had, it's really weird.
This guy's going deep.
Maybe he got backlash for that. So he was like, right, it's time to call this all a day.
I think he probably did. Yeah, you're probably right with that, and he just thought that was a bit too. Because that was weird. Because I followed that, and obviously, we know birds aren't real. But then I was like, oh shit, it's generally.
Yeah.
It looks like it's generally. I follow him really loosely, so I didn't delve too deep. And I just looked at it, read some comments like, oh, he's in hospital. Maybe that's his point that you don't.
I mean, if he actually faked an illness and went to a real hospital to get treatment,
that's like a ventilator.
That's balls deep.
Yeah, no, I think he set the whole thing up. So
I was going to say,
set the whole hospital, but but generally, there was loads of people. Again, like you do, because you don't. Most people, like including me, you just scan over stuff, don't you? You don't look too deep into stuff.
Yeah.
And perhaps that was his point, that it's just like, but everyone in the messages and that were like, I hope you get better. I think people generally thought he was really ill.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that led to kind of like the downfall of the bird.
Yeah, it's gonna be
like, it's all been faked. All the birds are faked, and the hospital thing. But the birds were really,
it's gonna annoy people. It's gonna trigger a lot of people.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
A master of.
But apart from the hospital stuff, the bird thing is brilliant to kind of prove how easily misinformation can be spread.
So I don't think, although we've got such a massive wealth of information available to us at literally 2 clicks, 1 click of a button, right? I don't think we've ever had a generation of humans that are misinformed or susceptible to disinformation this easily.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because things like this, back in the day, probably wouldn't even fucking see the light of day.
You've got Photoshop as well. You've got the fake, what's the face thing, deep fake, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. That's only getting more and more advanced.
I think the biggest one within that is the AI algorithm, because
that's
like you're basically, your world's distorted on whatever you watch.
Yeah.
To feed you what you think.
Yeah.
It is real, but you can have sort of the 2 people, same area, same everything, the same, so same upbringing that. But if you go one path down social media or another path, you're
just fed the same
totally different stories. So it's like no wonder people are got such polarizing views on stuff.
Yeah,
because they're getting, you get constant information reaffirming your beliefs.
Yeah. Sort of feedback loop.
Yeah, it's a feedback loop. Yeah, if you don't understand that that's what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Switch off the devices.
Yeah, in nature.
Yeah. We got a super chat from Java Dog. Says you should look at the case of Seti, a woman who was a 3,000-year-old priestess in a past life. Never heard of that. Have you heard of that?
Seti? No, I haven't. I'm going to write it down though.
That's it.
Sounds like 3,000.
He's just nabbed that for a video idea.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. You gave us the birds aren't real, so that's a fair trade.
I tell you what, right? I've been sat here this whole podcast, yeah. I've realised that this beanie is literally the same as Gengar, and I'm tempted to stitch this beanie onto Gengar because I think it looks sick.
Oh,
I've been sat here this whole time.
Blending in.
Just look.
You should put some little red eyes on your beanie.
Yes, little Gengar face there. Brilliant.
Was that the Pokemon you thought you saw when we went to?
Yeah, fuck knows, mate. Well, we was walking around the ruins, and I just thought I saw that grin and those eyes on a rock. It was really weird. It was at that point. But I mean, I don't. Have you seen that video yet, Dan?
No, where was that?
Me and Lozzie and Scott went to in Borough Castle where Lozzie's was born. There's a 2,000-year-old Roman fort.
Oh, nice.
And so we did like a mini investigation so that I could get it edited up for Halloween. And it was quite good. It was really cool.
You thought his little
I thought yeah. Well, mate, spoilers, right? We thought we saw fucking Black Shuck. We thought we contacted Ghosts of Demons. We thought we saw a UFO. Like, it was all going on. It was fucking ridiculous.
What's the just send me the link after.
Oh, we'll do. Yeah, it's fucking.
I'll post it up there.
It's fucking. Oh man.
That was good.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, the scariest part was obviously the scream, but I didn't hear that.
Yeah. I think it was like an owl or some shit, but that was
sounds eventful.
Do you know what? We were only there for like 2 hours. It was well event.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, but it was cool. It was cool. But yeah. Any more conspiracies, lads, or should we take it to the floor?
Look, I've got a few more, but I'll do like one more that we can talk about.
Okay.
And it's about Area 51.
Oh.
Now, there's some discussion, or has been quite a bit of discussion about the legitimacy of Area 51. And there's people saying that it was a conspiracy theory started by the US government to lead the Soviet Union into falsely believing that the US had alien technology during the Cold War. Which, I don't know about you, but the amount, especially at the moment with what's happening with Russia and Ukraine and everyone being involved, giving arms and shit, the amount of like fucking just saying random stuff to make the other side think, hang on, what the fuck? It just seems like that would be something that would happen to me. I've got no like actual evidence to back it up, but it seems like
that's all the Cold War is, really, isn't it?
Yeah, propaganda.
Cold War is just fucking propaganda, fucking bluffing each other.
Yeah,
it's like we've got 200 nukes, or we've got 201. So you know, it's just that is quite interesting. That is quite interesting.
It makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's something they would do.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah.
You know, like we've got all this stuff. We've got lasers.
We got fucking lasers. We got fucking
sources.
demons. We do a fucking sensei.
We got the lot. We got it all. And then Russia are like, well, if they've got technology that is 1,000 years ahead of ours, we probably shouldn't. Mind you, if there's one thing that Russia have proved in this war on Ukraine,
they don't care.
Yeah, they're just fucking. They'll fucking roll. They'll roll fucking their 70-year-old tanks straight into a fucking frontline war.
We don't need technology.
Nah.
But Mr. Putin, our tanks will be completely destroyed. Roll the tanks into fucking Ukraine. That's it. That's exactly
UFO.
how it went.
Imagine UFO, like USA get really involved in the Ukraine war, and they actually unveil all these like fucking source of technology shit, and they just give it to the Ukrainians. Fuck, you know.
That's like, there's another thing to that as well. They don't want to give Ukraine too many good shit, because then there is the possibility that Russia might get them.
Of course,
I think it was, I don't want to say it was Israel that has like a really good missile defense system. I think it's called the Iron Dome or something like that. And they didn't want to give that technology to Ukraine in case a country like Russia, who has good ties or have better ties with countries like Iran and all that shit, are like, hang on.
Isn't it?
That happened, didn't that? Yeah, that happened with like with the Taliban. It's like, obviously they gave them a load of equipment to fight.
Yeah, and then they lost.
And then so like say you do all this stuff with Ukraine. 20 years later,
it's all just like
smoke and mirrors.
It's a massive game of chess, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, well, we do want to help Ukraine, but we can't overstretch, because A, we'll start a world war, and B, like you say, if they lose and they get all our good shit, then we're fucked. It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating.
4D chess.
It really is. It really is.
4D chess, yeah. It's like I said, and there's so much that we don't know behind the scenes, like so many moves that go on that that just benefit countries, companies.
Yeah, most definitely. But also, I think about, I've done videos on like human experimentation in wartime. I've done videos on like MK Ultra and stuff that we've gone over on the podcast. These are the things that you hear about. Do you know what I mean? Like there were fucking, Japanese Unit 731 tests, just the most harrowing shit you can ever imagine. And that's the stuff that got released. Do you know what I mean? Fucking Stalin, what he did to the Russian people.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that actually, that's the documents that weren't fucking burnt and incinerated to cover their tracks. Like, fuck me. Some of the dark shit that has been lost to history, I bet, is fucking, like, just it would probably send people insane. Like just the levels that.
What's the
Oh,
worst
man.
thing about Stalin was that obviously the shit that he did to his own people.
Yeah.
Right. And you just sit there and imagine what the fuck would he do to anyone else that wasn't part of his country or was an enemy?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, there's that movie that come out recent or like a year or two ago. It's like a comedy sort. It's like a dark comedy about when Stalin died.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny because Stalin has like a heavy stroke or something like that, and he has put the best doctors in Russia in the gulags. So the only doctors that were available to him were shit doctors.
Yeah.
Because anyone that ever like went against him and shit. Apparently, also, if there was a round of applause, if you were the last one to clap, you'd be executed. Yeah. So he just like everyone would just clap until he left because if you were seen to, it's just fucking the dude.
You wouldn't stop clapping, would you?
The dude was a fucking maniac, maniac. You know, it's just There have been some dark figures in history. That is much as for sure.
So weird, isn't it? I mean, it's a good way to get people clapping, but
yeah. Right, last one to stop. Get shot. So who's gonna do it?
I guess you only have to do that once, and then everyone's gonna clap then, ain't they, for the rest of eternity.
Well, it's like when you see in North Korea when Kim Jong Un's the current one, isn't he? Who was his dad?
Yeah.
Kim Jong Il, I think. When he died, there was a state of mourning for like a week, and in public you had to be seen visibly crying, otherwise you'd be arrested.
Jeez.
Now this man is a tyrant.
Yeah.
And you have to cry, otherwise you'll be lobbed in jail.
Definitely need some like fake,
fucking crazy,
fake little squirters, don't you?
Yeah, just go around with an onion.
Sit in front of a fan for a minute.
Yeah, it's just fucking constant. But yeah, the world's crazy. The world is crazy.
It's fucked.
Yeah,
it is.
But I will also say, in my research of human experimentation during wartime, no nation is exempt. We have all done horrific shit.
Yeah.
Mate,
we
it's
probably
fucking
still
bad. Oh yeah, you know.
We always paint ourselves.
We'll have some fucking island in the middle of like the ocean somewhere where there's no jurisdiction, and we take people to get information. I have no doubt. Allegedly, possibly.
We're always the good guys, though. You got to remember that. We're always the good guys. We're always the one who's liberating someone else. You know, helping them.
And yet, from their perspective, what we're doing probably looks a little bit like terrorism. You know, it's just like it's all about perspective. But I don't think.
But
I don't think that we're the good guys.
Oh fuck no!
At all.
Far from it.
But yeah. What was the conspiracy again? Area 51.
Area 51. Yeah.
But yeah, it wouldn't be. It'd be a very clever tool to use in a Cold War setting.
It's such a weird. Area 51 is like obviously steeped in mystery, but it's such a weird thing. Like it was only probably about 3-4 years ago that. Obviously, it never really happened. I mean, some people turned up, but there was going to be a massive
the raid.
The raid
on Area 51. The reality is, it's an army base. They probably would have just shot everyone, surely.
Yeah. I mean,
50 cows on the go.
But also, I'm telling you, Area 51, you don't want to go there. If we had aliens, and we had a famous base called Area 51, I'd put the aliens in Area 52.
Yeah, or Area 50.
Exactly.
Or
everyone will go to Area 51. They're not there. You're like, see, you're silly. Actually, they're next door.
Yeah, it seemed so silly to have the secret base.
Yeah,
it's the most famous,
worst kept secret.
The famous alien. Like you ask anyone where do you think aliens would be? Yeah, and they're like, Area 51.
Area 51. So they're not. They can't.
Or unless they play a massive
double bluff.
And just put them in Area 51.
Yeah.
And get
rock up your
block.
block.
Why would they put them in Area 51s like that?
Let's go next door.
Where they are.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever come out of? Because obviously you got people coming out saying they've seen this. Has anyone ever come out and gone, "Oh yeah, it's just there's nothing there." You just like we're told to do all stuff, like nothing goes on. It's just a total. You just have to pretend.
I'm not sure. I think it is. I think it is definitely a functioning airbase.
Yeah.
But there is apparently stuff. So it's like one of them. So they'll probably be, if it is real, they'll probably have people there working on the airbase as an airbase that they don't have jurisdiction to, let's say, go lower. So to them, Area 51 is just an airbase. This is all ridiculous.
Yeah, because there might also be like levels of like people. Like you get people who come that like I saw them working on aliens. Those they might have set that up and gone, like let Johnny see it.
Yeah.
But like we'll set this up, like I said, it's a potential fake thing. We'll have some fake scientists and like almost like a film, and then people see it. So and then they just go out and convince and then you know what I mean, like a weird double bluff that like that you just don't know what's going on there.
And make it like cartoony, like almost like slapsticks. Like, look at this alien, he's fucking being harvested for some shit. And then everyone's like, well, that's just fucking stupid. That's not real.
You got to make it fantastic.
Like the film with Ant and Dec.
Yeah, Alien Autopsy.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Though that in itself is not that movie, but the actual footage is very interesting because there's been like special effects like experts that have been like, in order to recreate like where they're cutting through the flesh and how it bleeds and stuff, it's just so fucking hard to do.
Oh really? That's interesting.
The special effects, they were like special effects for fucking like the Alien movies and shit, and they were like, we don't actually know if we could do that, and we're the best in the world.
Oh shit.
So if this is just some shitty indie movie,
whoever
they've got to do that is ridiculous.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that lent a lot of credibility to it, without a doubt. Yeah. I know we're going to do a Q&A with the chat. I really need a wee. We normally have a break. I'm just going to quickly run to the toilet. If you want to start the Q&A, I'll be back in just a second. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'll mute my mic.
Relieve yourself.
Oh yeah, we haven't got the beauty of pausing it and having a little pause.
I mean, if it was me, I'm dedicated to the cause. I'm telling you, I'm pissing myself right here.
Yeah. Just get a little
here, stewing in my piss, reading out some questions from
get a little bottle and just if you hear a little trickle, we're just like just having a little wee.
Doing it for the cause.
I haven't actually got YouTube up, so
I've got it up, so if I see some questions come through.
Have you got a screen? Because you keep looking up. Have you got like a screen?
Oh mate, I've got 3.
Have
you? One centre, one above, and then one on its side to the left.
I like that. I think I'm gonna have to. This is like a temporary setup. But I'm gonna get. I've got some other bits I can bring from my office.
Yeah.
But I like that. Yeah, 2 screens. One which you look at, and then one with the YouTube bit on.
There's no way I'd be able to do this. I mean, you can physically do it, but it's just so much easier having 2 screens, at least 2. But
yeah. I'm writing that down. Second,
get the 3 screens on the go.
Screen. Because the last time I got a bit of lag when I got YouTube up. I suppose I could. Yeah, you can get it up and then pause it, or turn the volume down.
Yeah, I normally just turn the volume off or like sound off on it, just so it doesn't come through. But yeah. Like I say, if you've got any questions, get them in and we'll answer them for the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, we've been, 10 past 11, we've done good.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, all the notes that I had, there's probably a good 3 or 4 topics we hadn't even touched.
Oh, sick. Oh, that's good.
Cool.
I've really enjoyed this so far.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's been really cool. Oh my goodness. That was, I didn't drink that. I didn't drink that much. So I don't know where that come from.
Now you said it, though. I'm like, I'm going to wait.
Throughout this pod, I've drunk an entire bottle of water, and I'm now thinking to myself, do I need a piss? It's all right, because I said to Dan and everyone watching, I'll piss myself.
The thing is though, what we can do in the future is we can have a break screen come up, so we can still go for a break at 30 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, so what are we doing, Loz?
I was just waiting for some questions to come.
Here we go.
There we go. This is Ryan Ashworth. Do you guys think they actually have aliens or alien technology inside Area 51? I mean, I think we may have just discussed this, but yes or no? What do we think?
Inside Area 51, no. Alien/alien technology, definitely.
Yeah.
If I had to be like, if there was a button in front of me, 2 buttons, one said, basically, if you sorry, hang on, let me
think about these button choices.
Yeah. Basically, if it's a case of do I live or die, by this answer, are aliens on this planet alien technology, yes or no? I would say yes. If my life depended on it, I would say yes. That's how strongly I believe aliens are here.
That's strong.
Yeah,
that is
definitely.
fucking strong. You ad-libbed a bit about your life being in peril.
Just to re-emphasize the point.
Yeah, I will die.
If I was in the position where I'm going to die, I'd have to choose.
Yeah.
I think we've got alien technology.
I'd go. I believe that there probably was some stuff there back in the day, and then as we kind of all found out about it,
they've moved it along.
But just left that ticking over, like I say, it have its benefits of having people think stuff was there. So definitely not anymore. It'd be crazy to me if they did, but
I think much like Dan, I think they did have some form of alien technology, but it's how you class alien technology. I believe they're working on fucking weapons and stuff and technology that's well beyond what we currently have. I remember saying about a story on the pod where I had a family member who's an electrician. He went to an old RAF base that was in the Second World War.
The fiber optics.
He found fiber optic cables there, and it's like, that was fucking ages ago.
Like
we've only recently
80, 90 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane to think how far that technology actually is without us being part of that reality.
Yeah,
you get to see it. But yeah, I think they probably did have some alien technology there, but I think it's a bit of a risk keeping it there currently because of how well documented the place is. But
didn't Elon just do an unclassified flight with this new rocket for the US government? So he's done a rocket launch, but I'm sure it was all classified, whatever the word is.
I know he did something recently because there was a lot of big articles and that made about
sending something up for the US government, but obviously it's classified, whatever it was, which is weird. But
it's so weird how he is or his company is now responsible for building NASA rockets.
Is it?
Yeah, like he found a way to reuse parts or the whole rocket.
Yeah, so he lands them, doesn't he?
Yeah. So he's got a contract with NASA to launch X amount of satellites like per year now, and it's like $1 billion contract.
Yeah,
but also he keeps launching his own. So at some point, you'll probably be able to get his internet service
everywhere.
He's changing the world.
Full power, yeah. But I think that's one that's on the back burner. Because I've looked into getting it, and it isn't that expensive, and it keeps.
Is it called Starlink or something?
Yeah, Starlink. Yeah, and it keeps getting more powerful and powerful. Yeah. He's put it into Ukraine, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's currently, I don't know if he still is, but he was at the start of the conflict supplying Ukraine with his satellite, obviously internet.
Fucking hell, man!
Just so they could keep on top of communication and figure out what they're gonna do, look at different positions and firing from them and all that sort of shit.
He'll have such a monopoly once that completely gets going. He'll have such a monopoly that it'll probably wipe out all the phone companies, because no phone companies are setting their own satellites.
No,
like to space. They're all part of a supply chain that relies on other companies having big. But once he's got all his own, he doesn't need. He can charge what he wants, even if you charge. I don't know how much they cost to run on it, but even if you charge everyone £10 a month and everyone's on it, imagine that revenue coming into the country.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. If you go cheaper, if you innovate and go cheaper, you literally destroy the opposition.
And then I don't know too much about telecommunication, how it all works, but then if you've got to compete if you've got to send a satellite up to space, like if that's how you've got to compete, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you go to? Elon Musk.
Elon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think people are allowed. I think you have to have permissions to
Fucking hell.
Insane.
launch from whichever country you're going from. You have to have specific permission, don't you?
Incredible.
Yeah. Oh, he's good.
Elon
His
is
monopoly
just,
goes. He's pretty much got the game.
Elon's just an absolute. I don't know. Like you go forward 1,000 years. People will know Elon Musk now. He'll be like in the history books. You know what I mean? It's like fucking crazy.
He'll probably still be alive.
Yeah, probably.
He'll have his little chips in.
Emperor of fucking Mars. It's fucking mad.
Yeah. The little robot on Mars with his little brain in there.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
We've got another question from Liam Bennett. He asks, what do you guys think of the conspiracy that Finland isn't actually real? Never heard of something so stupid in my life. Hashtag follow the fish. Yeah, I mean, I looked at it, seemed pretty compelling about the Nokia phones and that. So
that upset a few Finnish people. I don't know if you saw in the comments. There was a few Finnish people like couldn't take that joke. Holy shit!
No,
like,
I feel like I'm not welcome in your area of the world because you're not a country. But
they were bombed.
Yeah. I might be going there this Christmas just for like
Finland.
Yeah,
doesn't exist.
So I'll let everyone know.
All right. I'll do what I would. The weird thing is, I would actually like to go to Finland or the area that claims to be Finland.
Just in the middle of the shipping lane.
Yeah. Oh dear.
If you next find like a pond or something, like you should just go in it and just be like, I'm in Finland.
Yeah, where are you?
There's as much Finland as you're in Finland. Oh dear.
But yeah, I hope it's real.
Well, you'd hope so if you're flying there or traveling out. It just sends you into a fucking ocean. So this is Finland.
Just
enjoy
got to
your
fucking
stay.
swim out of the way of the Nokia ships.
In the distance.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What a throwback.
Someone else asks, what are your thoughts on the royal family? Oh fucking hell.
I think it's just can we just like get rid of it now? I think it's played its part. That's it. Maya's watching The Crown. I keep tuning in every couple of episodes. It's quite entertaining, but
Harry's I'm not really, I don't follow the rules not too much, but Harry's just released a book, isn't it? And it's like top #1 on Amazon.
Jesus.
But I read the summary of it. Seemed quite interesting. Like it's basically saying about when his mom died and like how he felt and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite deep. So I'm going to get that. Just not really because of like the rules, but just I find all that quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely going to.
I'd love to know if that ever came out that the royal family had something to do with her death. Fucking hell, that would be the end. That would definitely that would have to be the end of the monarchy.
Yeah,
definitely.
That'd be on.
Fuck me.
Because Diana wasn't like...
She was the people's princess.
Yeah, people's princess. She's one of us. And you bumped her up.
Die. I'll die.
And if that happened, that's it. The tide turns on the royal family.
So,
to a certain extent, it already has. I think the Queen was the last pillar of like people who go, well, I don't really support the royal family, but it's the Queen.
Just wait till Charles abdicates to Andrew, and it all goes wrong.
That's what I was going to say. Does the Crown mention anything about Prince Andrew?
He hasn't. Where I'm up to, he hasn't been born. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. They just skipped that.
Just never. Yeah, he was just never born. Oh dear, oh dear.
Is the Crown good?
I've watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes of the 7 that she's watched so far, and it is entertaining. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's sort of where it's during like Churchill's time at the minute, and the Queen is like 27 years old, you know, and like, and it's kind of
all the way through.
Yeah, and it's very fascinating because it's kind of like her struggles as a young woman in the 50s, trying to govern an empire. Yeah, you know, in that kind of time. It's very interesting.
Fair play.
But Matt Smith is excellent as well. Matt Smith's fucking great.
Oh, is he in that as well?
Yeah, he plays Prince Philip.
because I ain't started watching House of Dragon yet.
House of Dragon's incredible.
I need to watch that. Someone else asked thoughts on celebrities faking their own deaths conspiracies. MJ, Tupac, Elvis. Not a celebrity, but Hitler. Well, what do we think about that?
They're two very different thingies. I don't know. I feel like it'd be too hard for them to do that. I think they're too famous, but then they could just go to an island somewhere. But would they want that? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. What life do you have that you actually? I mean, what was stopping them doing that?
Yeah, true. Do they need to die to come out of the limelight? You know.
I feel like it's something that at least one of them must have tried. I remember watching something with David Beckham, and he was like, everything he does, he's like, the thing I love to do most is like put on my motorbike helmet, go on my motorbike, because obviously, drive to like a Starbucks, and he'd drive out the back, and then he'd like just take it, and then he'd go and have a coffee, and he's like, that's his most favorite thing. And it's like, obviously it's so normal, anyone can go and do that, but that's how famous he is. So like, I can imagine that they definitely must have thought about it.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't be surprised if someone's actually tried. One of them's tried to do it. I don't know about all of those, but at least one of them, I think, could be very plausible.
How old was Tupac when he died?
I don't actually know, to be honest.
I can't help but feel like Tupac was too young to try and fake his own death.
Yeah, he was young when he died.
Let's have a look.
A lot of deaths at 27 as well, aren't there?
Yeah, 27 Club.
27 Club, yeah.
Jeff says he went to Cuba on holiday and saw Tupac and Michael Jackson out for a meal. There we go.
I mean,
that's enough proof for me, Jeff.
I'm not sure they hang out together, but
yeah.
Apparently, he was 25.
Yeah, so that's way too young to.
Yeah,
I would say. So I don't think so. Like I say, I think they probably thought about it, but I don't know. I just feel like you'd just disappear. I think you'd go missing. I don't think you'd die. I think you'd.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just gone missing.
To pull off a successful faking of a death is so difficult.
Well, also with Michael Jackson, so let's say, okay, he faked his death. So what? His doctor was happy to go to prison, so Michael Jackson could fake his death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know,
you got to look at all the levels.
Yeah. Whereas if you go missing, you just go missing. You know, then no one's responsible.
Like there are very few people that famous that if they just stop doing what they're doing,
they become irrelevant. Yeah,
they become irrelevant. Yeah, new people come in. Like I've seen, there's probably the top 100, whatever, that will just always be famous. But most people, if they just stop doing it and just decide to live a quiet life and stay completely out of the limelight, it'll be after a few years, everyone would forget, because that's what we do.
Yep. No, absolutely agree.
So,
yeah. No, I don't buy them personally. No. But however, not a celebrity, rightly said. Hitler colonized Argentina. I don't know about Hitler himself colonized, but I do think that there is weight behind Hitler escaping to Argentina.
Was there not like quite a few high level?
Oh, fuck, mate. Fucking, what's his name? Mengele, Dr. Death, the cunt that used to experiment on twins and shit. He escaped, and he was head of the fucking hospital at Colonia Dignidad. Imagine that. That guy was the head physician at the hospital in your new fucking utopia. Fuck that.
There's a documentary that
Hunting Hitler.
No, there's a guy who goes to America and like maybe he's like an artist or something, and he's like famous. It's a really good documentary. And then like he starts getting like really famous, and then he's from Germany, and then they find out he was like linked to like the Nazis and stuff. Can't remember what it is. I'm sure he's like an artist. It'll pop up to my head at some point.
One of the craziest conspiracies that was a conspiracy until it wasn't is Operation Paperclip. I mean, I get it. I do get it. But the fact that the British, the US, and the Russians went into fucking Germany after the World War had ended and gone, I know you've done horrific shit, Nazi scientist, but come and redeem yourself. Like the guy that was head of NASA for fucking years.
He
was a fucking Nazi rocket scientist.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I just feel sorry for all the victims of you know the Holocaust.
Yeah, horrific.
That these countries that came to save you didn't hold the people responsible that did the things to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I know, all right, you know, I'm sure there are technological advances that have been made because of Operation Paperclip, but at what cost? You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, Hitler maybe didn't escape, although there was like the bones that was left as apparently the bones of like a 14-year-old woman or something like that, the DNA on the bones. But there were definitely high-ranking Nazis, without a doubt, that escaped to Argentina. Without a doubt. Like that is a fact.
Yeah.
And there are still, to this day, like German like villages and stuff in South America that are, according to the Hunting Hitler documentary, still quite Nazi, but that is, you know, to be determined.
That's it.
I have to watch that. Is that on Netflix, that documentary?
I don't actually know. Might be Amazon Prime. But yeah, Hunting Hitler. It's incredible fucking documentary. It's like an ex-US Marine does it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. It's really good. Really good.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon.
Nice. Anything else, Loz?
Any more questions? Can't say any more.
Should we quick fire to see it out?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen one is the King of Nonce. I mean, there's no evidence of that. It's only Andrew, as far as I'm aware.
Although he was best friends with Savile, but we move.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Andrew was great friends with Epstein. Charles was great friends with Savile.
Oh, runs
but a lot of people were.
True.
But still, bit sus.
He was a fucking right cunt. He really was. Though,
as cunts go,
fucking
Savile
wormed himself into those organisations.
Absolute fucking disgrace.
Dirty. Right, we'll give it another minute if anyone's got any other questions.
Ryan's asked a question.
End on Savile.
What's the question? I can't see it.
What are your thoughts on the war in Ukraine? Do you think... we'll answer that. Do you think this could lead to a nuclear apocalypse? I genuinely believe that there will be so many people in place between Putin making the decision and the buttons being hit that it wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there'd just be too... like, unless Putin has his own personal button and then he's losing and he's just like, fuck it, bang. I just can't... Yeah, there's got to be parameters in place.
That's I feel that you can't have one person with the accessibility to like one button. Like it's just because like just as people, you know, you can be irrational. Like if you're having if he's having a real bad day or like if he's ill or whatever, like you just can't have that.
I don't think he would be able to handle the idea of losing that war because. On paper, Russia should have fucking strolled in there and took that in a week, and they didn't, and it's quite embarrassing. And I think to be embarrassed on a global scale like that is where he would hit the button if he was able to. Yeah, because hasn't he got leukemia as well? Yeah, he's very ill.
A lot of reports about him having some sort of illness, whether it be terminal or not, but quite a serious illness. But the information you get out of Russia is just fuck it, you might as well not even pay attention. You might as well not even listen to it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not saying that we're fed we're definitely not fed what Russia is fed, but we don't know how accurate what we're fed is either. You know, like after like 2 days, they were like, "Oh, Ukraine are pissing it." It's like, are they though?
Yeah,
you know. But
and if you do believe that he has got the capability and the limited space in between him and actually pressing the button, why would you say you're fucking shit, mate? Your army is shit. You're losing. What are you gonna do? Like, what's his next thought? Like, well, fuck you lot. Send in a nuke.
Yeah, you don't prod the bear.
So, I feel like he would have already done it.
Yeah.
If he was gonna do it, he'd already done it. But yeah. I mean, let's not tempt him.
No, but what is the point in nukes, man? If you like, obviously I don't want anyone to hit the button, but if no one's going to do it, then why have them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just Like
It's
back
weird,
in the
it is
day,
weird. It's like
flexing, wasn't it? It was saying
It's
that
such
Yeah.
a weird
more nukes
concept.
will
it
fucking
is
nuke
weird,
us.
and I think at some point it should just there should just be like we're quite civilized now as humans.
Yeah.
Like just all get together and just get rid of them all.
Yeah,
Like,
Elon, shoot them up into space.
It was essentially having a nuke is next goal wins at football. It's
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah,
getting
literally.
absolutely smashed on the battlefield. Right, send a nuke.
yeah,
Yeah, boom, done.
Done.
Yeah.
Golden goal.
There's like no point to it, especially now. Like maybe when you first built the first one,
Yeah,
it's like okay, yeah, but like
I guess, yeah, because like Japan didn't have a retaliation to America dropping it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, whereas
right.
now
yeah,
we drop if Russia drop one on us, America will drop one on them, or if we drop one on Russia, China will drop one on us, and then America will drop one on China. And I think that's the issue: is everyone's allies will do this, and then the world's gone.
Also, as well, it's like on a long enough time scale with that stuff there. At some point, there'll be someone that disagrees with someone, and something happens, and it's like just if you just eliminate them,
Yeah,
like then I'd like have stuff that you can do, but just not end of the world stuff.
exactly. Yeah.
Not a control alt delete.
Yeah, let's
God.
not call it a day, please.
Not alt F4 the planet, please.
No.
Fuck yeah, now.
Yeah, it's fucking heavy stuff.
But it's just come around because history. People look back at history and disagree on what should have happened and what did happen.
Yeah.
That's why
But
this whole
history
conflict
is
like
also written by the victors.
it is.
So
Interesting.
you never know the full truth. Ever,
Yeah,
true.
Ever. But yeah, let's hope that he doesn't push the button. I think this is a nice one to finish on, and it is actually Tim Kennedy was the guy who did the South America stuff. Apparently he's an ex-UFC fighter. I'm pretty sure he was in the Marines as well, but I could be wrong about that. Liam Bennett. Let's end on this. Dan, will the Eggy Bandits ever come out of retirement?
Maybe. I mean, if I'm a 43-year-old man running around,
Walking around egging
throwing eggs at some house, and something's gone seriously wrong. And imagine if I got caught. Imagine the police catching me going, "You're 43."
What's going on, mate?
You know, we never say never. If any neighbours want to go to war, I've got many eggs.
That's it.
I'll be like, you remember that McGregor Mayweather fight where fucking Mayweather's like streaming to his phone? It might be on like Instagram Live or something, and then McGregor walks past them and goes, "You're 43. You're 43."
Oh, dear.
That'll be what the police do to you, Dan.
We never know. Never say it. Unless I just pass it on to my kids and be like, look,
there you go.
Shouldn't do this.
Give them a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Eggy Bandits.
It's in the
Go
egg cave.
Who's annoying you at school? Right, we're going to get to the race and
Egg 'em.
egg their house.
That's it. Brilliant.
Right.
Oh,
God, love good egging.
that's it.
Right, well, thanks for the questions. Thanks for being with us. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I enjoyed this one, lads. What do you feel?
did.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, smashed an hour and a half as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This will be going up straight afterwards
Yep.
on the YouTubes, and then Lozzie, you're going to strip the audio, aren't you? What's your plan with that? Are you going to put the audio up on like Sunday, or are you going to do it today, like same day as the video goes up?
I'll probably try and do it the same day. I'm going to aim to do it the same day because I just don't feel like, we might as well just put it out the same day rather than waiting for the Sunday. So if we do these on the Thursday continuously, which is what we aim to do, then Thursdays will be the new day that you get the audio and obviously the live stream video version of it as well.
Cool.
All right.
Excellent.
Hopefully I'll have a listen later on when it goes out. Just hopefully I need to get a mic to make sure the sound's.
Yeah, but you sound fine. Obviously, a mic will be better, but you do sound absolutely fine.
Yeah, you don't sound too bad, to be fair.
Cool.
Awesome.
Right.